Hello everyone, welcome to Topper IAS. And today, as part of our daily series, today we will see one topic, from the point of mains, particularly, paper to governance. Okay. So we are seeing today with respect to citizens charters. So if you're following the newspaper, you already seen, panchayat, there has been panchayat charters which have been come out by the ministry. And last year there was also news with respect to taxpayers charters. Okay, tax charters were there in news, which was announced by finance minister in the budget speech. Okay, so we will see what are the citizen charters. Okay, so what is a citizen charter? It is a representation. It is a document which outlines the commitment of an organization. So it might be a private organization or even a government. Okay. So commitment to what? Commitment towards the standard, quality, and time frame of the service delivery. It talks about the grievance redress mechanism. So if there are any grievances, how they can be addressed. And it also talks about the transparency and accountability in the governance. So how the transparency and accountability is ensured in the governance. Okay. So this is a basic meaning of citizen charters. Okay. In India, Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances. So this department, which works under Ministry of Personnel, okay, Public Grievances and Pensions, Government of India. This department, coordinates the effort to formulate and operationalize citizen charters. Why? To make governance responsive and more citizen friendly. So the Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances will be formulating and operationalizing, efforts towards citizen charters to, make governance more responsive and citizen friendly. So in various central governments, ministries, departments, and organizations have brought out citizen charters already, and there have been appointment of nodal officers, okay, that have been appointed in the concerned central ministries, departments, and organizations for the effective implementation of citizen charters. Okay, so these are some basic things. And how did these citizen charters origin? What are the principles on which citizen charters function? Okay, see, basically concept of citizen charters, originated in United Kingdom in the year 1991. So what was the main, a simple aim, it started as a national program with a simple aim that, there has to be continuously improvement in the quality of public services. Okay. To continuously improve the quality of public services for the people of the country, so that these services respond to the needs and wishes of the users. So when you are providing the services, this should be in accordance with the need and what the people expect also. There should not be a mismatch between the kind of services you are providing and what the kind of things that the citizens of the country expect. So that should be avoided. So that was the main aim of why the citizen charter started. And there are certain principles which the citizen charter movement originally, framed had. So what kind of principles? Like principle related to quality. So services quality should be improved. There has to be choice given to the people whenever possible, wherever possible. And standards, such as, specify what to expect and how to act if the standards are not met. Okay. And value for taxpayers money, the service provided should be worth it because people are paying the taxes. And ensure accountability of individuals and organizations, because already you are specifying the quality and standards. If they are not met, obviously accountability, these individuals and organizations will be held accountable. And this making rules and all these things, this ensures transparency in the governance. So these are the basic principles that were incorporated in making, coming out with citizen charters. Okay. Then in with respect to Indian context, so we have seen how it originated. So how did it begin, or what is the with respect to Indian context? Okay, see what you see in India over the years. So there has been economic development. Okay, so much greater economic growth, particularly after LPG reforms of 1991. And not only that, economic development, we have seen also increase in literacy rate also. So a consequence of literacy rate is more Indians are becoming increasingly aware of the rights. Okay, so they are, more expecting now. They are more articulative. Okay, they expect the administration not only to respond to their, demands. Okay, they should also anticipate what might be the likely expectations of the people as well. Okay, so in such a situation, so citizen charters are one way to meet, such kind of demand. Okay, to meet the demands or the demands of the people with respect to service delivery and all. Okay, so citizen charters, a basic thing, some of the things they have to incorporate. They have to give vision and mission statement. They have to give the details of the business transacted by the organization, details of the clients, details of the services provided to each client group, details of the grievance redress mechanism and how to access it, and expectations from the clients. So these things should be incorporated, okay, within the citizen charter. Okay, and then evaluation of citizen charters. See what happened in 2000. So citizen charters were appointed by a number of, ministries, departments, or all. So what was needed or evaluation. So in 2002 and 3, Department of Administrative Reforms and Personal and Grievances, it what it did is it engaged a professional agency to evaluate the implementation of charters. Okay, so agency conducted the evaluation, and some of the major findings of that evaluation were like, in majority of the cases, charters were not formulated through a consultative process. So it was a one way those in the administrations were doing, so people were not consulted. And by and large, service providers were not familiar with the philosophy, goals and main features of the charter. Meaning, so why we are coming with the citizen charters? Mainly to ensure service delivery, commitment, transparency, accountability. But these all were, these things were not, so the service providers were unaware of all these goals and main features of the charters. Okay, and there was not adequate publicity to the charters given by in any departments. Okay, the most departments, charters were still in initial or middle stages of implementation. So this was also found. And another thing was, no funds have been specifically earmarked for awareness generation of citizen charters and for orientation of staff on various components of the charter. So these are the few things evaluation done by the agency. Okay, so consultative process was not going on. So service providers were not aware with the philosophy and goals of the charter, and adequate publicity was not given to the charters. People were unaware of it, and no funds were specifically earmarked to create the awareness about citizen charters. These are a few issues that the agency did found. Okay, then it also provided, certain recommendations also. So what were the recommendations? Need for citizens and staff to be consulted at every stage of formulation of the charter, because the ultimate aim is to, enhance the trust between these two. Okay, service provider and receiver. Okay, so consultation has to be done at every stage, and staff, the people who are involved in the charter mission and all, so they have to be clear about the vision and mission statement of the department. Okay, and the skill set of these people have to be enhanced in, team building, problem solving and handling of grievances. Okay, so people, staff has to be developed with respect to their skills, and need for creation of database on consumer grievances and redress. So create a database of the grievances that are likely to come from the consumers. Okay, and need to provide wider publicity to charter through print media, posters, banners. Okay, through also through electronic media. Okay, and earmarking specific budgets for awareness generation and orientation of staff. This is also equally important. And then it says replication of best practices in the field. So look around the world and incorporate such best practices in the implementation of citizenship charters. So these are also a few recommendations that the agency provided. Okay. So we have seen the citizen charters. Why? Because tax charters was in news, and also panchayat, charters were also released by the ministry. Okay. So that's why we took this issue, and as a part of your GS2 governance, okay, citizen charters can be asked as a question. Okay. So you can also download the PDF of this document in the link that is given below. And thank you for listening.